Hello and welcome back to the Sports Babble. I always get this wrong, I think this is episode 9, but it could possibly be episode 8. But before we start any football, I want everyone to wish Jake a happy birthday. Many returns, Jake.
Thanks very much, Phil.
Monday, wasn't it?
Monday indeed, yeah, 24.
24 Monday, not wise.
Desperate
Man, but yes. Oh, and you nice little 3 points for Arsenal the day before.
No better way to mark your birthday than a 3 points in the Premier League.
Liverpool can never let me down on my birthday because mine's in July, so
true
enough. We'll start off this week. We will have a look at the famous Oviedo, Real Oviedo. They were playing, as you all know, on Monday night against Zaragoza, a team who you might remember has been in La Liga not that long ago and different things. Started off really well. Aaron Niguez, who's Saul's brother that plays for his older brother that plays for Atletico Madrid, he scored an absolute screamer of a free kick from about six minutes in. It was a bit like Coutinho's against Leicester, so that's for distance.
Superb.
But it's a wee bit higher than Coutinho's.
So is it better?
Yeah, I think it was actually better. About 2 minutes in, actually, Zapatered for Zaragoza had a free kick that Juan Carlos, the Oviedo goalkeeper, who's come with a bit of criticism, he managed to tip it onto the crossbar, so it sort of set the tone of the game. Real Oviedo kicked on really from going 1-0 up and almost scored then. I think it was like 14th or 15th minute. The ball comes across the box and I don't even now looking back on it, I don't know how it didn't go in. I think it might have been Touche, I'm not sure, but it bounced off him, hit off the post and came back out again, and there was nobody near him, and he was inside the 6-yard box. I had no idea how it didn't go in, but it managed to bounce back off the post and come out. But Oviedo kept at it, and another couple of good chances, and then in the 29th minute, Touche gets his goal. It's actually a wee bit comical. It's a wee bit, and I don't mean to go back and talk about them, it's a wee bit sort of Dejan Lovren-ish at the minute, defending, no real confidence. For Dasca, the Portuguese defender for Zaragoza, the ball's fired into the box, goalkeeper saves it, comes back up in the air, and he goes to head it over his own crossbar and away, which you're obviously told never to do, like head it away, never head it towards your own goal. He heads it towards the goal, but to go over the crossbar, obviously. It bounces off the crossbar and falls straight to Touche, and he slams it home. So 2-0 up after 29 minutes. You're thinking...
Superb start.
Exactly. Now what would you expect Arsenal to do then, or your team to do then? What would you expect?
You'd be hoping for them to sit tight and then just wait for the other team to come out, try and get their goal, and I suppose catch them on the break.
Yeah, it goes 2-0, and it sort of cuts back to Saul Berron, who's he's playing on the left wing for Oviedo, and he's telling people to calm down, and it's 2-0 up, but calm down. Everybody's. I was watching it and I was thinking, right, okay, 2-0 up, 29 minutes in, it's a brilliant start. Let's just kill the game off. Nope. Oviedo still trying to go out for attack. They're still trying, it's brilliant to watch and stuff. You start thinking, when
you have that vested interest as a fan, as you now have,
yeah,
Philip, then you don't want them to be doing that.
No, I just wanted me watching it, and like we'll talk about Liverpool later on the show, and as you all know, they go gung ho and mad, and sometimes I just want them to maybe just put the ball out in someone else in the other team's half, deep in the other team's half. Everybody gather on it, calm themselves and come back up the pitch. Oviedo then concede. It's a really good volley from Martinez, the centre half for Zaragoza. Really good volley, but the thing that we didn't know me about it was this chance. It's a corner. It's an outswinger, comes right across the box and bounces up for Martinez to smash it. Early doors in the game, that the same chance almost materialised, and he was left wide open, nobody marking him, and he just really should have picked up on that from the first chance and sort of thought, right, this ball's coming in the box, somebody get tight to him. Nobody's tight to him, he smashes it in, and then that's the 32nd minute, and on the 39th minute, Zapatered has another sight at goal, and this time it's free kick, a bit like Aaron Niguez's, flies in the top corner. Yeah, two cracking free kicks. Yeah, it's really if you're neutral,
throw it up on one of our outlets. So
yeah, I'll put the highlights up so you can all have a look at it after this. Really good game. Second half was a bit more subdued. Both teams were still sort of didn't want to go too far forward. I didn't want to go all out attack because I think they're afraid of conceding again at the back. Really and truly, Real Oviedo's second half was they weren't as good as the first half, and the second half was more you would say Zaragoza edged it. They had 2 cracking chances. One was 1-on-1, and Juan Carlos actually made a brilliant save. They keep Oviedo in the game. Oviedo never really created any more chances in the second half, so it was a wee bit disappointing. But 2-2 a point.
Against, I suppose, a very good team.
Well,
or one of the teams. Are they one of the favourites for
they're-
promotion?
They probably are because of like
Experience
and history and stuff, and they have Torque as well that played for Athletic Bilbao.
Right.
He's playing for them, but really, truly, Oviedo probably should have been thinking about winning, especially when you're 2-0 up. A draw is never a great result, but look, they're up to 13th on 9 points. The league's still obviously very tight. The Barcelona B on Sunday, and if you don't know, in the Segunda division in Spain, reserve teams like from Real Madrid and Barcelona and whatever, they can play in those leagues. They can't obviously get promoted into La Liga, but they can play in Segunda and the regional leagues down below that. So play Barcelona B, who aren't going that well at the minute. So hopefully they can get the 3 points and come up and get closer to the top of the league, because promotion is still their massive push. Not even promotion, just be in the playoffs and compete in the playoffs at the end of the season. But one final point, I thought it was quite cool to see the Monday night protests. The fans in Spain don't particularly enjoy Monday nights because obviously it's on so late. It's on at 9 o'clock on a Monday night. Like, can you imagine the torch that would be if it was over here?
Exactly.
So they don't like it, so the protest and all for it, and I like a good protest anyway. Like, so I enjoyed seeing that. But yes,
We all know from your blog.
yes. If you haven't seen it, my blog on Torres, check it out. Yeah, so that was that. The play, as I said, on Sunday night at 5 o'clock against Barcelona B, so make sure you check the lads out. And as always, Vamos Oviedo. I'm still learning Spanish, so when I get a bit better at it, I'll try to do a full sentence to the Oviedo fans. But as always, Oviedo fans, thanks for retweeting, liking, sharing, and even getting in touch with myself and the Sports Babble. We always appreciate it. What do you want to continue the theme of talking about Spanish football and Spaniards, and talk about Rafa Benitez against Liverpool?
Rafa's played Liverpool. He's managed a team against Liverpool twice since he left them before last Sunday's game, and on both occasions it was a 2-2 draw. And again, he managed to get a result. I don't know how Joselu's effort ended up in the net, but Matip actually got back quite well, and just was unfortunate that it rebounded off Joselu's shin.
I don't think he's unfortunate.
It shouldn't have happened in the first place, but the fact that he got back in, the person that I would pick out there in that goal is Dejan Lovren, who, if he had got back towards his own goal, could have perhaps cleared off the line. He just stopped.
He does. I watched that last night. I wrote it down in my notes.
Dead.
He just stops there.
I know this man's playing under the influence of paracetamol, as has recently been released and documented.
More like it on the other night.
Disappointing for a team that really want to improve defensively, and Klopp has talked about it so many times, for them to allow a defence-splitting pass from John Joe Shelby. Who else? Who had something to prove, obviously, against Liverpool.
Yeah, the pass, and I tweeted about this last night, because I had to put myself through the highlights again, and I watched the Arsenal highlights so we could have a chat about that as well, and how Arsenal's fortunes have obviously changed since the last international break, and now they're ahead of Liverpool, which is not great when you run your own podcast with an Arsenal fan, because then he can boast. Oh, there he is. The pass was seen as some sort of unbelievable, look at this world-class pass. It was a really easy ball to play.
Simple ball, played through two defenders who looked as if they were on opposite ends of the world.
They don't look like they talk.
No. They
don't look like they get on. Look, there's something, I don't know, it's a really weird,
do you think they've just accepted the fact that they're going to concede goals and they don't really want to try too hard to stop it?
Well, I hope not, or throw them into the Mersey then if they're going to be at that. Because they're still,
I just don't understand why they couldn't have cut out that pass.
The whole body shape's wrong, and plenty of people will talk about this, plenty of people better qualified than themselves to talk about this. But the way they're facing the ball, they're so flat that they're actually running backwards, which...
They're just open.
Yeah, and it's a massive gap. Like they're in two different postcodes for a start. Shelby plays his ball, he just loops it, curls it forward. It isn't a great ball, he just passes it forward. Really, to be honest, it's a perfect ball that Rafa wanted to do, because it stretches the game and it pushes Newcastle up. When he goes to play the ball, you watch it and you think, yeah, Liverpool are okay here. Then as he plays it, you realise, oh, hang on, the two defenders haven't clicked. They're trying to run backwards, Lovren stops. But when Matip gets back, he tries to delicately
rather than
wrap the ball away. Why does he just smash him? Smash the ball. If he puts the ball into the crowd, there's not a referee in the world is going to give a penalty because he's put the ball into the crowd and he puts Jostley on his back. What doesn't help as well is, and I've heard people say this, Mignolet. Like, you look at Ederson for Chelsea, for Man City, who were outstanding by the way on Saturday. They really were brilliant against Chelsea. He comes flying out and he gets the ball in his chest once or twice, but he gives that defence confidence because they know he's going to be there. They know, Lovren and Matip really, and everybody knows it, that there's going to be 40-50 yards behind them for somebody to run into. So they're caught in no man's land, but they know, we all know, their goalkeeper's not going to come out.
There's major problems at Liverpool, and it goes beyond saying at this stage there is a lack of cohesion in terms of that core being the goalkeeper, the centre half positions, and even defensive midfield. I would argue, we're always defensive midfield for that.
Yeah, your defensive midfield. That's what you'd want. Henderson, if he's playing it, or Milner or Chan or whoever's playing it, you want them sitting in front of you too. If he's standing right, that slap bang in the middle there, like Matic or Bakayoko, what do you call it? Tomoe
Bakayoko.
Yeah, at Chelsea, or even like Xhaka at Arsenal will do it now that he's sort of realised. He'll stand there, a defensive midfielder will stand there and be able to just head it away or chest down at people.
And the fact that it went to a player who can't seem to score with his feet, but yet
and he looked like he was running backwards. Never mind.
Yeah, I just don't understand for a second. With the reluctance of Matip and Lovren to get back, I thought he was actually going to bend down and stoop and put it in with his head.
That would have been nice.
So much space much time he almost had there on that occasion.
8 years of time, but as I said, our two clubs' fortunes have flipped
completely. Role reversal.
Yeah, but like, what has happened to Arsenal? What?
The difference is that Arsene Wenger's a manager who knows how to turn things around in the Premier League, and Klopp is still finding his way in England.
You think so?
I think that's what it is.
I think that City result has left a wee bit more of disappointing. I'm trying to think of the word. Bad feeling at Liverpool than we actually think. I think
but the thing about that they should have been focused on is not the fact that they lost Sadio Mane, whether it was right or wrong. I believe it was right, but they lost Sadio Mane, and until that moment they were the better team. Arguably they were the better team, and they hadn't maximised and taken their chances. However, hasn't been the focus. Jurgen Klopp should have been saying, look, we matched them. This is what people are bigging up as the best team in England. No one's going to stop them. Pep Guardiola has got it right this year. Okay? Which it seems that he might have given the result at Stamford Bridge. But Liverpool matched them comfortably.
Yeah, when they were full.
With their full 11.
Capacity. I'm not sure if it's Klopp can't figure out England, or I don't know if there's... I think, and we didn't even mean to talk that much about Liverpool, and we will stop in a minute. There's a massive imbalance, not just in the defence now. He continues obviously to come back in. He scored 3 goals in 4 games. He's clearly our best player. There's some scenes that just not really be clicking with either
Sturridge.
Sturridge, I feel really sorry for Sturridge. You hope and pray that the Sturridge that was banging goals in would just come back again.
Even Salah, who missed that unbelievable chance, which I know it came back to him quite quickly, but it was a chance to put it into the net for a player of his quality, and he missed it. Liverpool are missing so many chances. They're missing
tons of chances. They're also missing a calming presence. Henderson can do it to a point.
Henderson wasn't calm against Newcastle.
Not against Newcastle.
He had a personal vendetta and went after John Joe Shelby in midfield. He chased him down at every opportunity. He wanted to show, weren't they right to keep me and make me captain and get rid of you, discard you to Newcastle?
Well, I don't know. My vendetta would, I was trying to kick John Joe Shelby the whole game. Henderson didn't do that. But I'm a Henderson fan. I thought that game was crying out for Liverpool to get Milner on.
He just brings that calm.
Just to bring it on, even at fullback, play him at right back, because it was obvious that Newcastle were more than happy to let Joe Gomez have as much ball as he wanted. She's a centre half playing at fullback, so really and truly you're going to get lucky with him gets a decent delivery into the box, because yes, he set up for me his goal against Arsenal, but he doesn't have that in his locker, so to speak. Was Milner, and he's more experienced, a wee bit more calm. Give him the ball at right back, he can sort of slow things down. You're going ahead.
We all know that goals make a big difference in this game. And I suppose the question I would have is, at the cutting edge, at the pinnacle of the Liverpool team, when goals are needed, is there a question mark over their mentality?
In front of goal?
In front of goal.
It looks like they are sometimes, they're trying to score the perfect goal.
Identify with that.
Like instead of sometimes like Salah even passes it back across, or Mane passes it back across early in the first half to Salah, when really like you'd want him to drop his shoulder or chain it on the other foot and whack it.
Which came from an absolutely superb pass from Salah.
Yeah, it did.
They're absolutely brilliant to a certain point, but when they nearly get into the penalty area, when your bread and butter goals are going to sort of arise, not happening.
No, and
Coutinho's goal was an absolute stunner outside the penalty area.
Yeah.
Where is the sturridge that they need?
I don't know. It was sad watching Sturridge as a Liverpool fan and realising, well, a lot of people said it before anyway, but me personally, for myself, looking at him thinking, he's done. Do you know, because he was so brilliant in that year that we should have won the league. He was absolutely outstanding, and the season and a half, or the half season before that, he was brilliant when he arrived.
Yeah.
But he's just been succumbed to injuries. I wanted Solanke to come on earlier. I like the look of Dominic Solanke, and I think Chelsea missed having Solanke in their ranks.
Well, now that Morata has gone out injured for what will be approximately 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks, yeah.
With a hamstring injury, it's going to be a big miss, and that leads us on, I suppose, to talk about his replacement for Chelsea. Now that Solanke is gone, it could have been a viable option, and Michy Batshuayi is the man to replace him.
Did you that sub in the game on Saturday, when Morata goes off, they bring on Willian and push Hazard up front? You don't think Batshuayi would have been the better option?
Not going to work. However, I can see Conte's thought process there. Batshuayi does very well when he comes on and teams are tired. Okay, last season he scored 6 goals in the Premier League. All of those goals came from him when he was a substitute.
Stat man.
Okay, and the average time that he came on for each of those goals was 77 minutes. Okay, that was the average time.
Yeah.
Okay, so at that stage, game becomes more stretched. There's more space. Teams are going for the win or whatever, and he comes on and gets goals. Okay, can he do it when they're up against it? When there's a team like West Brom sitting on the 5 at the back, 4 across the middle, and 1 lone man who's almost playing at centre half as well. Will he be able to do it then? Morata proved against Arsenal that he struggled in that department. He struggled to occupy the 3 centre halves of Arsenal. And Batshuayi, with no disrespect to him, I know he got a massive goal in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, again as a substitute.
Yeah.
Okay. Can Batshuayi deliver? Batshuayi is not as good as Morata. Can he deliver?
He's gonna have to. If they want to.
Hazard isn't the answer.
No, not as a nice striker.
No.
And I don't think Willian, Hazard and Pedro it might work. It might
you lose out what Hazard is actually brilliant at.
Yeah.
We're collecting the ball in that deeper position, playing 1-2s in around the box,
and you can see more than
you
can see more than his back's not the goal.
Exactly. When your back's goal, I remember Arsenal trying to do it at Stamford Bridge in particular with Andrei Arshavin a few years ago. Small Andrei Arshavin, a quality player.
Yeah.
Quality player.
Very good way forward, very good.
And no. He was better when he could see the picture unfold in front of him.
He certainly has enough confidence, I think, to go after it. That's why he seems to be absolutely there doesn't seem to be an issue there. But just on Chelsea's performance in the Champions League, that was brilliant.
Superb.
The goal I know that I should have moved stadiums, but to go there and win 2-1 and look so good, so composed the way they did, that was an outstanding performance.
I suppose what it is great medicine for Diego Costa, who sat in the stand confident, I suppose, that his new charges were going to get the win, and that didn't go up in his face.
It did. We'll be back to talk about the worst signing that we think of the summer so far, who don't think's impressed, the best signing so far, because it is half term sort of in the Premier League again thanks to the national break, and we'll see you in 2 seconds. So welcome back to our part 2, the way we merge videos in, it doesn't really matter. Right, as I said, we're going to talk about the best deal, what's looked like the best deal so far in the summer. And Jake's looking for sarcastic looks. I know what's coming next. So off you go, Jake. Take the floor.
Well, obviously the best deal of the transfer market was most certainly the sale of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, a player getting into the last year of his contract, a player who was ineffective, inefficient going forward, playing in a position whereby he was keeping one of Arsenal's most bright young talents out of his natural position, Hector Bellerin, and to get 40 million for him was absolutely brilliant. You know, we have seen the Ox effect on Liverpool, and it has not been a good one.
Yeah, a lot of people have been firing that at poor old Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You're going with that as a deal because it's allowed Bellerin then.
It is allowed Bellerin to play. I would arguably say that he's been Arsenal's best player since the last international break.
Okay.
Which has come out of nowhere because previously he was in and out of the team at left wing back on his wrong foot, looking uncomfortable, giving away possession. Now he looks like the player that we thought he was a few seasons ago.
The player that Barcelona were rumoured to be.
Exactly, the player that they were rumoured to be interested in. And the player I would say that they will go back in for at some stage in the future. Remember, a very young man still. But, you know, it seemed like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was holding him back from playing in his actual position.
I'm glad you've mentioned Ox because Oxlade-Chamberlain, I've wanted to stick up for him since he joined. I joined Liverpool. I was really happy that he joined Liverpool. It's a player I wanted. Season ago, season before that, I just think it's a brilliant player. There's a brilliant player in there.
But Philip, Liverpool are struggling to score goals. They're struggling to be clinical in the final third when it matters. So what difference is an ineffective player going to make?
Well,
it's another similar player to what Liverpool have. Ineffective, inefficient, going forward.
But the way Jurgen Klopp plays with the system's 4-3-3 is not just it's not your bog standard sort of 4-3-3. I'm not talking that he's some sort of tactical genius. He's come up with some different plan. It's helter-skelter, maniac football, and it takes a little while for someone to get used to it. And certainly a player that has maybe come from, like, you look at the football he's played at Arsenal, it's completely different to what Klopp plays.
Right.
At times Arsenal can counter-attack really well. They should have got a brilliant counter-attack goal against Brighton the other day, which you could see it by Matt Ryan. Yeah. It's maybe not, don't have the pace that Liverpool sort of have now, obviously with Mane and Salah, but Liverpool's football is gung-ho, as Klopp said, rock and roll football. And a lot of people have already jumped on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain because of the Leicester match, and people, the beauty of YouTube and video now, people can put together a selection of clips. Compilation. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's come from Arsenal. He had no confidence at Arsenal. Arsenal were right to move him on because he was shot at. There was no future for him at Arsenal. He was shot at Arsenal.
He was a player who thought that he was going to a club which was bigger than Arsenal and now find themselves 1 point behind them.
Well, he's managed to fire that in. Well, what I'm saying is, you did right to get rid of him.
Of course,
40 million.
Of course.
To get rid of him, he was, his time at Arsenal was finished. There was obviously a tiny little bit of an issue or whatever with Arsene Wenger. I don't really think there was that much of an issue because
I just think the player wanted to go.
He wanted to go. He wanted something different. Arsenal wanted him gone. He's come to Liverpool with no confidence to try and learn a completely different formation, completely different way of playing football. I think he will find himself playing at fullback at some point as well soon. Liverpool need we as Liverpool fans, we need to stay with him and give him a little bit of patience. See when Adam Lallana arrived under Brendan Rodgers, Lallana is technically Liverpool's best footballer. Like just in technical ability, he's outstanding.
I agree.
Both feet, so confident, brilliant. We big time miss him. When he came under Brendan Rodgers, big money from Southampton. He was one of Southampton's leading players. He struggled. He scored a couple of goals. He looked really good in some spells, drifted out of it in others, but he sort of struggled. And that first season didn't go too well at Liverpool. Rodgers leaves. Jurgen Klopp comes in. Lallana's first game for Liverpool is under Jurgen Klopp, like everyone's, was against Spurs. He played for 80 odd minutes and he absolutely busted himself, and he bought in to Klopp's tacticals and his mentality and his system, and he's kicked on, and he's arguably Klopp's most vital component, and Klopp big time misses him.
There's a big miss, yeah.
And I think when Lallana comes back in and you have Alexa Jordan Henson in around there, and Lallana, who Oxlade-Chamberlain goes an injury with, and we don't know about Sturridge whether he's going to be in and out of the squad because of his form. I think then you will see Oxlade-Chamberlain come back, because when Oxlade-Chamberlain did have all this confidence when he was a bit younger and when he was on former Arsenal, like everybody in the league was just thinking this player, this is going to be a really good player, and then it went. And I think when Lallana comes in, it'll help him adapt more to football. It is deadly to play under Jurgen Klopp because he expects so much gung-ho football off his team. You look at the match even on... We'll use a match on Sunday because it's most recent. His two fullbacks at times are so far up the pitch that isn't just being brain dead. Moreno gets kicked all over the place for being brain dead, but he's that high up the pitch. He has had to have been told to do that, and they're not left in limbo. Now, can you imagine being a new player? They've had pre-season coming in. Oxlade-Chamberlain's still sort of in his pre-season period with Liverpool. When he comes back after an international break, it'll be a bit longer. But can you imagine what he's then thinking? What? Where am I meant to go here?
I agree, Philip. I know that a player needs a time to settle in, especially to a club like Liverpool under a manager is completely different to Wenger. I totally agree. There's also a question mark over his attitude. We saw him in his final game for Arsenal against Liverpool.
Wasn't great.
It was very poor, and it seemed like his attitude just wasn't right. So is Klopp still doubting his attitude, do you think?
No, I think Klopp, the reason why he started the League Cup game against Leicester, and the reason why he has been in and out and only getting on so many minutes is because I think he's still struggling to adapt to the way Jurgen Klopp wants his team to play. And that's why Liverpool get caught out, and they play literally on a tightrope. Literally, even as a Liverpool fan, unless we had Baresi, Maldini, Buffon and Nets, and Claude Makélélé in defensive midfield, you know that we're always going to give a chance away. We're always going to be on... What's the word? I'm forgetting every word tonight, but we're always going to be there for the taking, for a chance at least. Do you know what I mean? It's always right on this tightrope. And then he's coming into that, and then he's trying to learn that and think that. And I think that's what needs to be thought of. A lot of Liverpool fans and other teams' fans be like, look at him, and laugh at him, and that's the way football is. Like, we laugh at everyone, don't we? We just make fun of, like...
Yeah, no one has a doubt about the potential that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has shown at times at Arsenal and with England. But the question mark is, for a player who is arguably now starting to come into his prime, you would say, given his experience, which position is his best, and what does he bring to the team?
I'd like to see him in centre midfield. I don't know if he is a centre midfielder. I know at Arsenal it didn't seem to work. He had a couple of good games at centre midfield, but he looked much better maybe at wing back recently for Arsenal.
That's true. He slipped into wing back role very comfortably. Defensive midfield or in midfield role leads me on to talk about who I think has been the signing of the window so far, and it has been Nemanja Matic.
At Manchester United?
Not only deal of the season for the fact that they got him for 40 million roughly from Chelsea, a major rival and former champions, and he has slotted into their midfield seamlessly.
I don't. Has he even missed a pass yet? He looks
so comfortable,
Yeah.
And I know that everyone's going to say Manchester United's first test is yet to come against Liverpool at Anfield in a few weeks' time. And I agree, that is the first big test, and we will see how good he is when he's got those, as you say, gung-ho wing backs, those centre attacking midfielders, striker, all in around that area, because you know how Klopp likes to play at Anfield, and they will really attack, and he will be put under pressure. But across the season, he's put Manchester United's player of last year out of the team, and Ander Herrera, who was superb for United last year.
I really like Ander Herrera. Really like him.
He was superb, and he's put him out of the team comfortably. This is a man you can trust. This is a man who is a winner. This is a man who has been the deal of the transfer window going on the first few games of the season.
That's a fair point. Really fair point. I suppose if you take the top six out of it, because they'll obviously spend an awful lot of money, and I know Everton have as well, and Gylfi Sigurdsson in class.
I don't
think
think Everton or any Everton fan should consider themselves worthy to call themselves a top 6 team, or even close to challenging a top 6 team.
I don't even think they'll be top 7 on this current rate. But if you're to pick a signing out of the top 6 that you think's been brilliant, I think Richarlison at Watford has been class.
Superb.
And what I really love about Richarlison it's how raw he looks, because he's under 20 Brazil international. He looks so raw. He's not fine tuned or anything.
You're unsure of what he's going to do.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what's throwing a bit of defences off.
But look, winning goals in 3 games,
and he helped get the winner against Liverpool.
He helped get the equaliser against Liverpool.
Equalised
3-3. That's the first game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he has had an immediate impact for a team that is really performing well under Marco Silva.
Yeah,
collectively.
that was a big result to come back and get that against West Brom at West Brom.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that was the equaliser yesterday.
Yeah, but it felt like a winner because they all went daft, and it was even. He scored a header in again amongst Evans and El Ghazi, neatly rising and heads it home. But I think he's been really good. He's one to obviously watch at Watford. Still, you only got him from 11.2 million from Fluminense.
That's right. And I remember when he first signed, reading an article. I'm not going to say who by, on the BBC website. South American football correspondent.
Same first name as himself.
And surname Vickery. But who really sort of went through this decision from Watford to buy this player, he said was unproven. And I agree that he is raw, but he is a player who has delivered. He's a player who they have seen potential in, and his potential has began to be realised.
He only played 14 games for Fluminense, so... In Brazil, so it's obviously
judging him on.
Yeah, he still is a young player. They went and spent 11.2 million on him. Obviously, Marco Silva has thought he's seen something, and what he's seen is, well, like he's proven it. Like he's really done well for Watford and blossomed.
As has Marco Silva.
This is the Marco Silva fan club.
Yeah.
So
Adoration Society.
Yes, Rafa Benitez is part of that as well. So we touched a little tiny bit on Everton. And my next article is actually going to be on the man who befelled Everton. Is that the right word?
A man who had Stephen Ward playing like Roberto Carlos and Jeff Hendrick finishing a goal like Zinedine Zidane. That is a manager that deserves great praise. A manager that deserves a job at a top team.
Well, that's what my blog is going to argue. But 24. Did you see the goal? 24 passes. I was watching the game at home here, and I couldn't believe it. What was going on?
I was shocked. Firstly, Stephen Ward. I didn't know he could run so fast.
I know. Who thought?
And his intelligent run on the second play.
It's a really
Jeff
good
Hendrick,
ball.
who let the ball come past him and finish.
Oh, Snedlin's still looking for him.
Yeah, he is. But who else is looking for these two players is Martin O'Neill. You know, why do these two players not play like this for the international
Even
team?
Robbie Brady was brilliant for
Robbie Brady, superb.
It's his actual ball. It's a 7-yard pass that he sprays it across over to Stephen Ward.
And Eamon Dunphy's probably foaming at the mouth already, excited for how he's going to react to Republic of Ireland's game against Moldova, how he's going to criticise Martin O'Neill, how he's going to say that these two players are superb or three players are superb for their club. But remember, Ireland, Burnley. Okay, Ireland, Burnley. And Eamon Dunphy will have something to say about this.
Oh, it won't matter. Like of course he will. He's a tube. What I really liked about that goal, just to go back to it, obviously there's 24 passes, but when I mean to keep going on, when I watch Liverpool, as I said, we're rocking on and we go mad. I'm crying out for us sometimes to slow it down. Jack Cork, I think, is one of the most underrated footballers in the Premier League. I don't care, you can slabber at me all you want when you see me on Twitter about that comment. I am standing by that. He's one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League.
Consistently gives off his best.
Oh, brilliant. And he was superb against Everton. And he's constantly involved, him and Defoe are constantly involved in that pass. Either they're playing the next ball off or they're sort of conducting. And you can also, if you watch it back again, because Goodison Park is... Everton started very well and then... Burnley settled themselves. Goodison Park's atmosphere is gone. You can hear Sean Dyche conducting from the sideline, telling them where the next ball, go here, go there, next pass, and he's talking, and you can hear him talking to his team. He must have been... If I was him, I'd have the shirt and the ring off in that moment then. I'd have been better run down the line if I was the manager.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Defoe, who had a superb game as well, they all played very well. Stephen Tarkovsky as well at the
James
back,
Tarkovsky,
superb. But a natural replacement for Michael Keane, who looked quite bog standard. But I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Defoe received a phone call from his international manager saying, "You win at Everton, you'll get a place in this team for the World Cup. I want to beat Everton."
Who are you, Roberto?
Roberto Martinez.
Do you think Koeman should be worried? Do you think he should be fearing his job?
I don't think he should be worried currently because they've had a very tough start in terms of fixtures.
A horrible start.
They've also spent a lot of money, and a lot of those players were signed by Koeman. There would have been Koeman's decision, I think. I know that they brought in the Leicester director of football,
Steve Walsh, wasn't
Steve Walsh, yeah, and I know he is obviously probably the big say in those signings. But Ronald Koeman will be given a chance. At Southampton, a 48% win percentage. At Everton so far, a 44% win percentage. Very, very good stats for a club that is just outside, I suppose, the top echelons of English Premier League football. Sean Dyche, 46 years old. 2012 he took over Burnley. I know he's got relegated, but he's brought them back up.
Fair play to them for sticking with him as well.
He's assembled a great team, and he's got, I know it's important, your win percentage is important, 40% win percentage, but 69% of games he has either won or drawn.
That's good.
Very good for Burnley.
We talked there briefly, we just said about Everton start. Burnley have gone to Anfield, Wembley, Stamford Bridge and Goodison Park, and they're in the top 6.
Well, they beat Everton, they beat Chelsea, they drew with Tottenham, and they drew with
Liverpool. Yep.
So
the flying start,
superb, and I'm delighted to see it because it's one of those clubs that warms your heart as a football fan.
I can't even, I hardly can say it, that the fact Leicester won the league still boils my head. I just can't take it. But if Burnley won the league, I could take it, I think. I would be happy enough. I just couldn't. I literally still can't cope with the fact that
the thing that Sean Dyche needs
Jamie Vardy won the league and Steven Gerrard didn't. I'm sorry to talk over you, but it just has broken my heart big time. But go on ahead.
Sean Dyche, what he needs to do to make that possible is to start buying pizzas for his team. If we learn one thing from Ranieri, it's to make sure your team eats plenty of pizza.
He's actually doing quite well in Nantes. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
They're up to 4th in the league. They've scored 6 goals, but they've only conceded less than that, and they're on 16 points.
Can he do it?
No, because
Champions League.
There's only so many times though that you can win a game with one brilliant chance. Do you know what I mean? It'll catch up on him, but the fact that he's brought them up to 4th at the minute,
Nance for him, yes.
He's done very well. So we'll be back with the final part of our show. Oh, sorry, you want to say something?
No, that's us.
And we want to talk a little bit about international football and also touch a wee bit on Kevin Doyle and the concussion sort of chat that's been going around football at the minute. Hello and welcome back to the final part of the Sports Babble video and obviously podcast. So, as we touched sort of briefly before the end of the last section, Kevin Doyle retired from football. Last week, wasn't it? It was about 5 or 6 days ago. He released a statement to say that he's had to retire due to concussions from heading the ball, and in fact he's getting headaches and stuff. And even this season alone, he's had 2 concussions after heading the ball. Hasn't felt well. And it does highlight sort of puts a spotlight on head injuries at the minute in sport. It's obviously very there's a massive profile of it at the minute in the NFL because of what's going on. Go ahead.
And also the concussion movie, Will Smith accent, superb.
Yeah, Dr.
Superb.
Bennett Amalo, that brings it all, brought it to everyone's attention, and CTE and what's been going on. And sort of talk about this here that we aren't too experts, so we're not going to go too far into it. I did a little bit of reading up on Jeff Astle that played at West Brom, and
yes,
he obviously there's a Jeff Astle Foundation that his family have set up. He passed away in 2002, and he'd had dementia, and recently in 2014 his brain was there were scans and results were done on his brain and a CTE check, and it turned out that the doctor that actually did the results on the investigation said it was, the worst case of CTE that he's ever seen. Yeah, and it doesn't help when, in this case of Kevin Doyle commenting on it, Roy Keanes, who is one for the soundbite, said, if you don't want to head the ball, go and play chess. What did you make of Keanes? I don't play football anymore. I'll maybe play 5-a-side, a bit like yourself. So if we're that someday we're parents down the line and we have young boys and sons and daughters who are playing football, would you be fearful then of them heading the ball? Would you, or is it something like what's your take on it? Because I can see where Keane made that comment, but I think sometimes
the brain is extremely intricate.
Oh yeah.
And any time that there is direct contact made with the head, although there is the skull obviously to protect it, Okay, but when there's that contact made and there a slight swelling takes place, right? That cannot be good for your brain.
No.
You know, and it's something that I would have to think about. For example, if we did have children playing sports, you know, because we don't know the effect long term. Kevin Doyle has been advised by his doctor to stop playing.
Yeah.
Roy Keane has advised him to go and play chess. I know who I'd be listening to.
It wasn't. We're both
insensitive.
Not massive. We're not. Yeah, we're not humongous Roy Keane fans at the best times. I think I'm coming out and saying it. I know it's been a lot of people have jumped on the comments as well and taken away the context. I think it's coming saying if you want to play sports or like hurling and rugby, you're going to get hurt. If you don't want to get hurt, you go and play chess. But I just thought it sort of like there was not even a
compassion.
There wasn't much. There wasn't
compassion or empathy for Kevin.
He could have handled it better. He could have maybe not even touched on the fact he played. He shouldn't have maybe even mentioned the play chess bit. Just sort of left that alone and just talked about Kevin and how obviously what's going on.
At the end of the day,
no, go ahead.
At the end of the day, these gentlemen who play soccer professionally go home to a family.
Yeah.
A family. A lot of them only have young children when they're playing professionally, because of their age profile. And they want to have the time beyond their professional career to spend with their family. We can't blame players, for example in this case Kevin Doyle, who should step back from football for medical reasons, but obviously there'll be that weighing on you whereby you want the time to spend with your family. Jeff Astley said the impact of heading the ball, CTE and dementia, the possible links. You know?
When you read the story, if you do get to read it, there's a brilliant article in it. It was done by the Telegraph in March this year, and you read about it and you see what was going on and how his lives were just changed. It's pretty horrific. There was another footballer, and I've just forgotten his full name. I think Eric Moore maybe or Mays from Chesterfield. He's like their cult hero. He's a record appearance maker. I think he's a record goal scorer. And there's a really sad story about him and talking about it and how like. Basically, different thing. He has like a form of dementia called PICS, I think it is, and basically like one of the things he'll do is he'll eat his favourite foods, but he'll not remember that he's at them. So if you set like a bucket basically of, for instance, if you set like a bucket of fish and chips that he loves down, he will just continue to eat because he won't realise. And that must be very hard for his family to watch it and look at it. And obviously head injuries are so. It's now everybody's focusing on them now, but I think football sort of brushes. And the type of comment from Roy Keane will be made by other ex-players in football or people in football because it's just getting brushed under the carpet when really I think like the FAI had a chance here, and even Roy Keane maybe he might be the right person but had a chance to really go at this situation saying maybe this is something that we do need to look at.
You need to take a serious look at it, right, Philip?
It's especially in a week where another footballer is being lauded for how he stood up for a completely different cause in Catalonia, Piqué, and how he's been brilliant in that, and he's taken the reins and he's fronted it and he's talked about it, and then you get all the comments like I say, it's just a bit like, come on, you know. And
perhaps if Kevin Doyle ever gets the opportunity to watch us, perhaps this is something that Kevin Doyle can lead on.
Yeah, you hope
he's a player who has got a good standing here. Given the amount of appearances that he made, more than 60 appearances for the Republic of Ireland. He's also got a good standing, you know, he had that brilliant partnership with him and Dave Kitson at Reading, you know, when they were in the Premier League under Steve Coppell. And, you know, I think people would respect or would call, are really calling for someone to take the lead on this within football.
Indeed. Hopefully Kevin's got out and finished at the right time and everything, there's nothing serious going to leave this, and we wish him all the best in his retirement.
Sure.
To continue on the international football theme, there's a couple of big games for Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland starting tomorrow night when Northern Ireland play Germany at Windsor Park.
Yeah.
I actually fancy Northern Ireland to get a draw. I don't think we could beat.
I've only one hope for the game, and that is that Mesut Ozil does not get injured.
Because you want to sell him?
No, well, because he hasn't been playing recently, obviously, and he's been struggling with different things, so hopefully he won't get injured. And I would love to see Northern Ireland cause a bit of an upset.
That would be class.
That'd be
brilliant.
brilliant.
Very, very good. They obviously have Macaulay and Evans are back together, and they'll play Brunt, and Steve Davis is fit. He's on a booking. So he could be suspended. So I would imagine if I'd say they are comfortable or whatever for a draw, when you can never be really comfortable for a draw, but I could imagine him wanting to get a booking in this game. I missed the Norway game, so he doesn't miss any of the playoffs.
True.
But yeah, I fancy Northern Ireland to. I don't think they're going to get beat. I think they'll draw with Germany tomorrow night.
Okay.
How do you think the Republic will get on?
Republic must win against Moldova, and then they travel to Cardiff to take on Wales in what is a.
If Wales and Austria don't win,
and Ireland win,
that's it sorted, isn't it?
Ireland are through.
Is that the way it goes?
I think so.
I think it's very close to being like that anyway. But
is that going to happen?
Well,
Austria and Wales, we have to just assume that they're going to win.
Yeah.
We need to beat Moldova, the Republic that is, and we need to ensure that we're in a good place to go on and take Wales and Cardiff. The good news is that Gareth Bale's out.
I don't think Wales have won an away game without Gareth Bale for about 3 or 4 years.
But they're at home.
Both games are at home?
No, Republic are at home to Moldova and then they're away to
yeah,
Wales.
But Wales are at home on Friday night or whatever. Friday
Are they
night.
at home for 2 games?
I think Wales are away at Azerbaijan. This is good.
Baku.
Yeah, they're away to Baku.
Yeah.
I think is it even Azerbaijan? I don't know. My head's all over the place now. Wales are away, I think. The first game, and then they're home, and I think that's going to be the first game they've been away.
Yes.
They haven't won an away game with Gareth Bale in a number of years.
So you never know.
Jake gets his phone out to double check there because it balls that up. The Bale injury is massive. It is massive.
It's a massive. He's their talisman. You know, he's the person alongside he's the person alongside the manager and also the likes of Ramsey there that has really led the revival of Wales as their national football team, and he'll be a massive miss. I can see Ireland winning both these games.
Think so?
Martin O'Neill has a habit of winning big games. Remember they beat Germany?
Yeah.
Shane Long's goal, Darren Randolph, what an assist that was, and that was a big win.
Shane Long could do with a goal for club and country.
God, he's in a bad place.
He's in a bad scoring wise, definitely. I don't. I have a funny feeling they'll win. I think Wales will also win without Bale, but a funny feeling Republic of Ireland will beat Moldova. It'll be scrappy, and then the Wales game, I think that's anyone's. That's up for grabs. Then I've watched enough of the Republic of Ireland under Keane and O'Neill to just be bored to the back teeth.
But bored, and they might get the result. I wouldn't discount their.
I want them to get the result. I want both.
Wales play Georgia.
Right.
I want tough place to go.
Yeah, I want both the Ireland teams to get results, and obviously both of them go to the World Cup because that'd be a good laugh. That's sort of us for this week. As always, thanks for joining us. Like and share and retweeting the videos, the podcast. You'll have seen that we had a little a blog was up on our WordPress account. We've changed it now, and we went and bought a website, which was a massive moment. I bought it the other night and my head fell off. I couldn't sleep. I was that excited. And that I put it up the other day, but I'm taking it back down again. That'll come up when we get our trusty friend Brendan to have a proper look at it, because he's the genius about the websites and stuff.
IT genius.
He is. And it'll give him something to do when he's crying over Murata being off. True.
Yeah, and you want to keep his mind busy so he doesn't get too bogged down in the fact that Chelsea probably won't win a game until the next international.
Well, I predict them to get relegated, I think, now, to be honest.
Do you think
so?
I
think so, without Murata. I think,
and without Solanke.
And I'd love him to score his first hat-trick against Chelsea. That'd be a good laugh, wouldn't it? Hi, Brendan. But yeah, that the website will go up hopefully some stage at the weekend. As I said, I'm going to do an article on Sean Dyche and how much I love him, and how I think there's a bit of snobbery going on in English football towards managers of his ilk and of clubs at that level that he's at with Burnley. But as always, catch us on the Sports Babble, on Twitter, on Facebook.
And tell your mates.
And tell all your mates. Vamos Oviedo, Sunday night. Obviously, good luck to both Irelands this week and on towards next week when they're playing. And yes, keep an eye out for the website, and we'll be back again next week with another video.
Indeed we will.
All the best.
Keep well.